Miley Cyrus, back on the scene, new album, new movie, hitting the talk shows, saying things like, I'm surrounded by gays. Well, why is that? And specifically, there are Nickelodeon gays and Disney gays. Now, my understanding is that these two companies are involved in making children's TV shows. And apparently, this content is made by gay people, according to Miley Cyrus. And Miley Cyrus, of course, is a Disney employee, possibly born and raised in the Disney laboratories. Okay, so according to Miley Cyrus, the star of the show, Hannah Montana, what was the show about? Quote, it's about a teenage pop star wearing a wig. Well, what kind of pop star are we talking about here? Like being the most famous drag queen for kids. So according to Miley Cyrus, I'm just reading what it says. Miley Cyrus said that Hannah Montana was about a drag queen for kids. In fact, the most famous drag queen for kids. And Miley Cyrus was the star who played the role of Hannah Montana. So therefore, Miley Cyrus has just admitted to being the most famous drag queen for kids. I'm just reading what it says, if that's all right with you. On a nationally syndicated talk show, and of course, nobody understood what this even means, because the people are idolaters, and especially they worship the androgyny. So not much I can do about that. It's not my fault. The people need to worship something. They need to worship the pantheon. Well, here you go, a god in drag. Miley Cyrus played the role of the most famous drag queen for kids. Quote, unquote. But there's more. If you're gay and you don't live for Hannah Montana, what's wrong with you? So gay people are supposed to like Hannah Montana. Why? Because it's a show about a drag queen, and it's made for kids. Just said it right there, for kids. So it almost seems like Miley Cyrus is an evangelist, an androgynous evangelist, spreading the religion of androgyny. Just find your true authentic self, your genderless spirit. You too can transcend the material world. So Miley Cyrus said that part of the reason for the wig was to cover up the teenage acne I would have since I was like 14 and full drag every day. Now, I don't know if that means the drag caused the acne. Possibly the heavy makeup necessary to pull off the illusion resulted in a bit of acne. What is this, an alien tattoo? That kind of makes sense, actually. Now it's all starting to make sense. So again, Miley Cyrus mentioning the word drag, full drag every day. So Miley Cyrus went to work and dressed up like a drag queen. Miley Cyrus admitting, again, to being an androgynous spirit and drag queen. Miley Cyrus was on the other talk show with this guy, who I forget his name. This is all Miley Cyrus talking here. And it was Miley Drag Night the other night. As it would be. In fact, I think every night is Miley Drag Night, if you really think about it. I think we're living in a giant drag show, and Miley Cyrus is the star. Okay, so Miley has something called Miley Drag Night. I'm not sure exactly what goes on at Miley Drag Night. Not sure I really want to know. I'm not sure how often this happens, but apparently Miley is having a Miley Drag Night on a regular basis, as one does. And now here, Miley Cyrus is going to initiate the talk show host into the mysteries of the drag religion. Okay, so Miley Cyrus is passing on the high-heeled boots, which are called, I think they are called chunky boots, and this is like the kindergarten of drag. All right, so Miley Cyrus is giving the boots, the drag boots, to the talk show host. All the queens already bought them all because they all went to Miley Drag Night, the biggest event in town, apparently. And they even changed the name. The person's name is now Chunky Booty, Miss Booty. Miley Cyrus has changed the name as part of the initiation ritual into the transformative process of ritual androgyny in the name of the mother goddess. It's your new drag name, Miss Booty, his new drag name. It's about the 10th time Miley used the word drag in this interview. So there's Miss Booty, has been initiated into the cult of drag by the androgynous evangelist. We're all gods in drag now. Wow. There he is right there. They're dressed up in drag. So Miley Cyrus shows up on the talk show, and now everyone's a drag queen. And in another interview, Miley Cyrus talked about having a dual identity, like a superhero cape, but it's drag. And then goes on to say, so that's why when RuPaul started coming into culture. Oh, that's interesting. RuPaul's drag race, as in species, started to influence people's minds. I was like, I get this. This is what I do. So what does RuPaul do? RuPaul's a drag queen. And Miley Cyrus was like, I get this. This is what I do. So I guess Miley Cyrus does the same thing that RuPaul does. And if you remember the duct tape incident where Miley ran out of duct tape, why is that? Because the drag queens tuck and tape a certain thing to hide it from the public. And Miley says, again, quoting, "But I'm just like every other drag queen." Well, how many times you got to say it before people listen? I realize that most people are completely unable to understand what Miley Cyrus is actually telling people out loud on national TV and in concerts. People are simply unable to understand reality because they are addicted to illusion, addicted to idolatry, addicted to sin. It's the human condition. There's nothing we can do about it. We cannot save humanity. And in fact, I would say the good news is that soon, according to the news, human beings will be extinct. And according to Tom Cruise, the Scientologist, human beings will be extinct soon. So there's really nothing to worry about. Problem solved. This is the world we live in. So it couldn't be any more obvious what's going on, but yet people couldn't be more oblivious to what's going on at the same time. Same world, but different worldviews, different perceptions, different understanding of reality. Now, the good news is that judgment may be coming soon. Some will survive, some will not. Not sure there's anything I can do about it. Some people worship the androgyny. I guess people need something to worship. And this is a quote from Philo of Alexandria, who was a first century Jewish philosopher and theologian. The reason is, I think, to be found in the prizes awarded in many nations to licentiousness and effeminacy. And the Greek word there is malachias, which has the same root as another word used in the New Testament, which means effeminate, but it actually means effeminate in this context, and I'll talk about that some other time. Certainly, you may see these hybrids of men and women, and the Greek word is androgynous, which actually resembles our English word androgynous. So this word here should probably just be androgyne, continually strutting about through the thick of the market, or even on the talk shows, heading the processions at the feasts, appointed to serve as unholy ministers of holy things, or sacred set-apart things in the pagan religions, leading the mysteries and initiations and celebrating the rites of Demeter. Demeter, of course, is the mother goddess, goes by the name of Ceres in Latin, in the Roman pantheon, a mother goddess with androgynous cultic personnel. Gee, where have we seen that before? It's actually a very common theme. This is just one of hundreds of other references to this same phenomenon. It's been going on a very long time, and it hasn't really gone away, has it? And this is the same kind of spirit or practice behind theater. Theater began as a celebration in honor of Demeter. So they had androgynous people in the cult of Demeter, and apparently they still do. And as an added bonus, here is a photo of Olivia Rodrigo, a major international superstar that I found, because sometimes a microphone is just a microphone, but sometimes it's not.